How's it going, everyone? Alex with Jeeps Limited here. So last time we were at the Badlands, I was following my friend Eric with low talent off-road up this hill, and about halfway up the hill, I ran out of talent. I ripped my mirror off. I tore up the weather stripping on the window here, and then I actually got into the window frame here pretty good. This is all dented in real bad, which isn't terrible on the window frame because I've actually done that before. And all of this up here has already been bonded and painted one time, so I guess I'll be bondoing and painting that again. Once the weather's a little bit nicer, I'll do that outside. But today I'm going to be putting on a new mirror. I was able to get one off of Amazon for like under 40 bucks, whatever, you know. And then I got some new window seal too that I'm going to get put on there. So I guess this is what I get for not having any talent. So follow along as I fix my mistakes. The new mirror should be pretty easy to put on. It's literally just 2 bolts. They're Torx from the inside. Loosen them, take this broken junk off. Hopefully the door is not super dented to where this is going to sit all weird. And then bolt the 2 bolts back into the new mirror. So hopefully this should be pretty easy, but I also have a tendency to make a really easy job hard. So we'll see what happens. Alright, it looks like this is a T40. That's probably spinning or doing something stupid on the other side too. There's that broken junk. Probably a longer bolt than this needs to be. There's that broken junk. This would be a great time probably to clean out the inside of the door, but we're just not going to do that. Okay, this should be pretty simple. I think I can manage that. Slide that broken junk back in. I wasn't really getting any tighter, so somewhat tight, probably tight enough. Good enough. And voila, I'm really proud of myself for figuring that out. I think it never even happened. For the window seal here, something tells me that there's probably a really easy way to do this. And something tells me I won't be doing it that way. It looks like there's one little like retaining hole. Like I'm wondering if it just kind of pops into place. Something tells me the way that this one's coming out is probably a bunch of pieces. I don't know how you would get to that. And the good news, it's already broken, so it doesn't really matter what we do to it. need something gentle to ride with. Find that finger? I'm going to break the glass doing this. That would be my luck. Start from the broken end, maybe. There we go. Get rid of that broken junk. I'm going to clean that. And actually, this metal trim on the door itself is bent in a little bit too. We're going to take what is likely the wrong tool for this application and try and bend it back a little bit while trying not to absolutely destroy the door. Something. I would assume that this should just pop in, but I'm also going to assume that that's not what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm good. Scratch the fuck out of that. That second first. Doesn't fit well. That side fits, this side doesn't, but it's probably because the door is bent. It's not bad. And see, it does not sit down there, so we're going to have to try and massage that a little bit straighter. This would have been better to do without the mirror on, to be honest. Try this first again. See what that does for us. There we go. Scratch the shit out of the door again. When in doubt, just force it. It's like super curvy. It definitely is not how that's supposed to be in there, but I betcha it doesn't come out now. It's all wavy there and it has a huge hook in it. There's something wrong there. That's how the window operates. Yeah, good enough, I suppose. You can see it actually drags on the window. I don't think it's scratching it, it's just dragging on it. Or it normally didn't, but it doesn't look great. It's all caught up there. Oh. I see, I need to get that out of there. There's a little piece, a little tail here that's actually supposed to go behind this plastic. That comes off just like that, apparently. Yeah, okay. We're doing good. Try that again. That's in there this time. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's retained, but it's in there. Back on. Perfect. I scratched the door in 3 places just trying to do this, but I don't think at this point in time makes any difference. I bet you this piece probably whistles in the wind a lot because it's not really super tight. Wow, I'm really proud of myself, guys. That was really something. I guess that's what you get for running into trees, but it just jumped out at me, so not my fault. This over here is gonna be kind of weird to straighten out because it's creased in here quite a bit. Like you can see, I'm not gonna be able to probably straighten this out at all. I mean, I might. I'll try and pound it a little bit flat here, but otherwise I'm just gonna chip the loose paint and Bondo it and repaint it. I actually, right here, you can kind of see it when the light catches it properly. Right here is all Bondo, because I had a pretty similar dent to that from last summer up in Michigan, and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it doesn't look great, but if you're not looking for it, you really don't see it. The paint matches, and it's actually pretty durable because it's already beat up again, and it hasn't broken or chipped off or anything. So I'll probably Bondo this in the spring when it's just a little bit nicer outside. I don't really feel like, yeah. I don't really feel like getting into that right now. I'm probably going to touch that up with paint just now that it's bare metal, but I don't really feel like getting into it. And I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to go see if I have Bondo right now and mix it up and just do it right now, because why not, I suppose, now that I start picking at it. So I'm going to go see if I have some Bondo, I guess. Okay, good news. I have Bondo. Which means I can start what I'm truly passionate about, which is absolutely just destroying the body of my Wrangler that is not even paid off. Don't know. This is too big of a block of wood. See, I really don't even know if I can straighten that. It's just creased on a corner. I mean, it really didn't rub on the door or anything. But I think just straightening it out is going to make it easier to patch this. I don't know. I don't know the first thing about body work. All I know is I'm just beating the shit out of my car, and I think that's quite honestly all I'm doing. Okay, well, if nothing else, we got the loose paint off. I'm gonna sand the affected area a little bit. Really, it's painful to do this on a nice car. I spent a lot of money on this car. I've had it for like 2 years, and I've completely wrecked it. I would have literally never thought I would be sanding the paint off of this car. Really not what I had in mind when I bought this. Honestly, not a good purchase. This was a really, really clean vehicle when I bought it. It drove well. It looked really good. I bought it in 2021. It's a 2016. It was almost flawless. No dents, no scratches. Great daily driver vehicle. Completely ruined it. I had all of these intentions of keeping it like nice and clean and not trashing it, and it didn't work. Okay, I had my first glob of Bondo very properly mixed on the back of a piece of cardboard, and I'm literally just going to glob it in there. I think this is also a faster setting Bondo, maybe. I don't know. This is my technique, is to just literally glob it the fuck on there. I really don't know how you're supposed to do it. I'm sure there's a way that you're supposed to do it. But my method here is really just to fill this in. I'm not really going to even attempt to shape this all that well, because it's just not going to shape all that well. I mean, these are not the right tools for this job. So really the idea here, I mixed up way too much. The idea here is going to be to just glob this in there kind of high and sand it down, and then I'll just add another layer onto it until it gets kind of where I want it. I really don't know how you're supposed to do it. I just know that that's Bondo globbed onto a car. I have a lot of Bondo work to do on my YJ, like a lot. So this is good practice. Good practice for the nicer car. I'm assuming it's just kind of like drywall mud, you know, and then I also do know when you're doing drywall mud, everybody says the trick is to know when to stop, like when to stop messing with it, in which I'm not good at that either. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably, this already actually honestly doesn't look that bad. So we're just gonna keep doing that. Like I said, my plan is to pretty much overfill the void, and then to sand it down. And then if I need to put more on once it's kind of hardened and sanded out a little bit, I will. You know, and just do a couple. I think when I did the other spot last summer, I put multiple coats on it. I'm sure anybody that's a body guy that's watching this probably has a lot to say about my technique, and that's all right. I'm going to leave that to dry. All right, it has been about 30 minutes, which is what the can of Bondo says it needs to set. It honestly feels a little kind of sticky still, but I'm just kind of impatient. It's kind of cold in here. If it was warmer, it'd probably go quicker, but I'm just going to sand it smooth. Like, it's kind of high right there. And I'm going to sand the edges off and then just run another coat over it because it's still kind of low here too. But I mean, I'm just going to sand it, add a little bit more to it, and just work it that way. All right, I got that pretty smooth. Focus. All right, I got this pretty smooth. All around here is real nice. It can use a little bit more. I'll probably sand it with something a lot finer. I was just using 150 grit there. And you can see here, like all of this is where I'm going to focus a second coat and just fill this in. So this one's going to be pretty light. I'm going to just fill these in. And then you can kind of see this indent here. That's what I'm going to try and smooth out with this next coat. But all of this is already pretty smooth to my liking, really. I'll hit it again with like a finer sand. But yeah, I'm just going to fill these little voids in. Fill this low spot in. Let that set up and then sand that out and see how it looks. But so far, actually, I think this looks pretty good. I mean, you can kind of see the void I got to fill in there a little bit more, but I think a lighter coat now, maybe 2 light coats, but yeah, we're going to mix up some Bondo and glob it in there. It looks honestly pretty good. I mean, you can see I've removed all of the paint off of this was the previous Bondo from the last time I did this. So I ended up taking all the paint off of there, and honestly, that was really more from the acetone. Really not the right product to clean this with. I just learned that right now. You can see how much I built that up. Like, that's quite a bit right here, but like I said, I really couldn't get that indent out in any way. But it actually, I think, turned out pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and get some primer on it. I'll have to reprime the top there. Get some primer on it, and I think it'll be pretty good. This is also sandable primer. With just priming it like that, I can see a couple of potholes, but I just don't leave them. I think once it's painted, I'll let that dry, hit it a couple more times. I don't know. I can see it the way I'm looking at it. Yeah, even through the video, you can kind of see the spot. I don't think it turned out as good this time as it did the first time I bondoed it last year, but oh well. Like I said, it's hit a tree twice now. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's probably going to hit a tree again, so if you stand back and look at it, I think it'll be okay. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll come back, hit it one or two more times, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, everyone. Here we have it. I put a couple coats of paint on it. I ran out of paint, but I think I got sufficient coverage on it. Then I put a couple coats of clear on it. I will say, right off the bat, this didn't turn out as well as I kind of thought it would. You can see the Bondo pretty clear as day there. Compared to the last one I did, like up at the top, you can see that it's not a perfect square up at the top, but it's harder to see the Bondo. Versus this time, you can see it. I'm not really sure why. I don't know. The Bondo has been sitting in my garage all winter. It's probably frozen a couple of times. I don't know if that makes a difference. The temperature today, you know, it's cold outside. The garage is pretty warm. I have a heater running. So I don't think the temperature is a problem. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I did rush this a little bit. So that might be part of it too. I'm not sure. Overall, I don't really think it's too bad. You know, if you step back from it, yeah, you can see it, and I think even if you're not looking for it, you'll see it, but you know what? It's better than having a dent there. I needed to fix the broken, chipped off paint anyways, so overall, it'll do just fine until it smacks into a tree again. So, oh well. That's fixed. Good enough. Got the mirror put on. Got the window trim put on. It's like I never even hit that tree. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for following along. And stay tuned for some new videos. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.